Hey there guys, it's Gimpy here. So just before this spotlight starts, what I want to start off by saying is the testing for large ships on spotlights is changing, and it will have changed in this video. So basically what is happening now is I'll be doing a general weapons functionality test, basically going through the special weapons of the ship to see how well they work. If there are no special weapons, I'll just go through and see how functional all the other weapons are and see if they've got good lines of fire and things like that. Then I'll be doing 3 destructive tests on the ship itself. They'll include 3 rigs. One's a sniper rig, a missile rig and an artillery rig. They have 3 different weapon types on, and what I'll be doing is I will take one of the rigs first, take the ship, fire 2 volleys at it, and then I will basically see how it fares against that volley, and then I will swap the ship over, swap the rig over, and then I will do it with the other 2 as well, just to see how it fares under different circumstances of weaponry and firepower. The last test I'll be doing is a ramming test. The ramming test will be only done from the longest side of the ship. So the reason why I'm doing that is because most of the time as another ship you'd want to go for the slender parts and the weaker parts, which tend to be the wider parts, or the bigger areas, the biggest surfaced areas to hit, because they're easier to hit and you can cause quite a massive amount of damage by doing that. So I will be doing these sorts of things now, just to make it fairer for any of the content creators, and just to make it a little bit easier for myself to sort of have some sort of routine to go through and check. So hopefully you guys understand this, and I'll see you guys in the next bit of the video. Peace. Hello there guys, my name is Jay or Gimpy Dwarf, and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers Spotlights. So today what are we looking at? Well, we are looking at another one of Dark Lord's builds, because he has been revamping a lot of his ships, and this is called the Phoenix 2. Now I haven't actually done a review on the Phoenix 1, the original, but I've seen it and I've gone through and actually had a look at it as well, and there are a lot of differences. Basically this one's got a lot beefier in critical areas like the neck part at the back, and then it's also had a bit of a revamp inside, making it more friendly towards humans, and making it a bit more comfortable for the people living on this. So this ship is actually, he calls it the drone carrier, but it also is the frigate, I believe, of his main sort of fleet, and it's literally a beast. It looks gorgeous as anything, and as always he's done a really good job with it. He showed me this in sort of early process, and I was completely blown. I was like, what the hell, how the hell have you done this? And it just incorporates good defense as well as nice bit of power to have in your fleet. Now this ship in itself, just look at the back section. All those thrusters just get it where it needs to go. It's just absolutely awesome. And another thing I'd like to point out with this, it does have hangars in, which you saw at the start of the little flyover bit, and these are so strategically placed it's unreal. Like, you've got these ones here which go right the way back, because of course they're drones and you can park them up and whatnot, and do all that gubbins, and they can park up really nicely, and you don't need human access, which is good and nice and safe as well. And then you've got these bunch here, and it can like hold 20 of these drones. Now the drones in question, I do have one somewhere. Where is he gone? He's around this corner, I believe. Now this is the drone in question. This is what he is calling the Ghost model. Now he does incorporate the new block, which is the, what do you call it again? The laser antenna. So basically he's got a bunch of the antenna bits sticking off the side, and these things are built to pick up its signal and you can fly it around. And when it comes out of signal, another one will search for it and it will continue to fly as normal. These things, I've had a little bit of a drive around in them, and they are really fast and nimble ships. He's actually put scatter cannons on them, which is ridiculous, and that must be fun to have. He did have one version, the missile version. I'm unsure whether he's got that on the workshop. I haven't checked, but it was like asymmetric, so it wasn't symmetrical, and it looked like an absolute beast of a thing to fly. But it's thought of everything with this little drone. But anyway, less of that, let's get into this ship. So what I think we'll do is we'll have a bit of a wander in and see what he has done to the insides of this. Okay, so coming up to the ship, he has a door on the side. Now I believe this is symmetrical on the other side as well. So what you do is you drop in, and of course, like any spaceship needs, it's got an airlock, a very quite small airlock in all fairness. It's very nicely compact in, and it's just it's a nice use of space as well. You've got a bit of walkway here to step out of the way, and you can walk and everything, so it's really nice. And if we open this door, it leads us to this section here. I'm just going to turn my light off as well to get the full mood of this ship. So if we come up here, I wonder what's in here. Now bearing in mind I came into this when it was early on, so I'm unsure of what he's actually done with a lot of this now. So we instantly get greeted by a nice little, as he put it, he basically looked at some of the things I was doing with my ships and took the idea of having meeting rooms, like little areas where you can gather around and just sit and, you know, have that general nice comfort in a ship where you can just go and sit around and do not a lot. So just to double check, we'll come through this door, and yes, he does have that airlock on the other side as well, so it is mirrored, because he's a big fan of mirroring Dark Lord, believe it or not. We've got these really nice sort of alcoves dedicated just to light sources, which is phenomenally beautiful, and that, honestly, I'm not fanboying, but I like the use of lights in here. It's very, very gorgeously lit, and very, you know, it's adequately lit as well, which is good. So coming through here, keeping with the theme of having conveyors everywhere. Now Dark Lord did state he has conveyors in places and tries to make them look as best as possible, but most of the time they're not even meant to be there. It's just, you know, they had to come through there, so it's all, some of it is done by fluke. So so we come through this door, and we have got a nice little area for controlling different sections of the ship. Now if I am correct, there is a colour-coded system I've still yet to grasp for his ships. I'm just going through some of these consoles, see if there's anything placed on them. But I'd imagine you'd probably want to use this as some sort of control deck for, you know, controlling the drones and all that gubbins. Standard clearance required beyond this point. Wow. So he's actually got signs that state that clearance is required. So they actually toggle between clearance. That is brilliant. So you actually need clearance to get in here, like yellow clearance by the looks of it. That is amazing. So I think what we'll do is we'll head up first and then go down. So come up here. We have some doors left and right. Now these lead into bedrooms for maybe the captain and his friends and, you know, servants of his of sorts. And we actually have a nicely laid out toilet. This toilet is probably the best use of space I've ever seen. Well done, Dark Lord, seriously, I've been trying to achieve this forever. So he's just got a 3-block long hallway sort of thing, and he's put a toilet at the end, basin, and then a shower. Excellent. So he actually gave us a special point that all the window, or most of the window in here, is actually double glazed for protection, which is brilliant as well. So you come back through here. If we close that door up and go over here, what do we have? I'm just going to turn down my mouse sensitivity so I'm not disorientating you guys too much. We have a double bed here, so maybe for the admirals, you know, and the captain's helpers. And they have a nice sort of bigger bathroom with some actual, you know, some drawers in and stuff like that, which is quite nice. I think probably he's just had a bit more space there and just added that just for the purposes of having more space to store things. So we do have a bit of a jump up there, but we'll go through this door first, which actually says high clearance required beyond this point. So what it looks like, he's had these created, which is nice. It's in the same sort of textile anyway. So we come through here, and I'm believing this is the main control deck for your cat. Yes, it is. So he has actually stated with the ship as well in his description that this ship is designed to have like coffins as such. So each room, or most of the rooms that contain personnel and things like that, actually have this ability, you know, to be encased. So they actually have like an armoured section all around them to protect them from fire, which is good. He's utilised the space very well for the space that is given in the ship, because you'd have so much space if you didn't do that. And it's for defensive purposes as well, which is really, really good. So this is where you do sort of your main control issues a whistle from, which is nice. It's nicely sort of hidden away, in all fairness. And I like the way he's designated clearance for different rooms, which he's always good with, because he's very much into his space games. So we come up here, and we've got a first layer here first, which does it carry on? Yes, it does carry on. So in here we've got some more doors. We've got 4 of them, and we've got a bit of sort of space here just left open, which is nice. And we come through here, and we've got bedrooms. Now I actually praised him on these bedrooms a lot because of the way he's got this flow through the bedroom into the bathroom, and then this bathroom is actually shared either side. So if we come back through here, you're back in this lobby. So it actually loops around, and the space is really well used. So coming through here, we've got the canteen area, which is very, very, I don't know, chilling. The light in here is very chill. So we've got this nice little walk around with the conveyors and things, and we've got some benches where you can come and eat with your friends and your pals before you go off to battle, or, you know, other duties. And we actually have a look over at the meeting room, which is a beautiful feature to have, and it kind of reminds me of something off of, I don't know, this pedestal bit here reminds me of something like on a Viking, you know, like a Viking monuments and things like that. It's like something like that anyway, and it's quite nice. And you've actually got cargo containers all around you up here, but you don't really realise, because, you know, they're like part of the wall feature, which is weird. I didn't realise until about 5 minutes in when I was looking at the ship with him when he was showing me around. So we'll go up again into this blue layer now. Well, where are we? So in here is his weapons room. So he has designated this as a weapons room, and he did say, and he's actually put the clone trooper outfits up here, which is awesome. Just a little bit of an Easter egg in here. And then you've got your gun racks and your ammo pouches and whatnot here as well. So it's very much an armory for the ship, just in case anything goes wrong. Now up here is crew quarters. So, well, engineering, crew quartery areas. Now Dark Lord actually explained this to me. He went with green because he feels that green is a nice colour to sleep in. It's, you know, it's not too bright, it's not too dark, and that's why the sheets are green, which is an interesting thought on colour, I think, which is nice. So coming through here now, and we have more doors. My God, more door. We have more door. So I think we are at the very top of the ship now. So if we open these doors, where does this take us? Because I've never been here before. Where do you take us? So we got a sherry room here, just for all the crew to use, and then we've got basin toilet, very nicely done, very hygienic of you, and mirrored. Oh no! So we've actually got more bedding over here as well for more of the crew, and yeah, just more bedding, which that's quite nice as well. So come through here, shut the door, and where do we go now? We go this way. So we can drop back down, but let's continue up here first. So we open up this door, and we've got a med bay. So he's actually got a sink here for washing your hands after dealing with patients, and you've got some beds, and of course you have the medical room. Now, is that mirrored again? That is the question. Yes, it is. So that's really nice. And again, I like the use of slopes in the roof. It's very random and sporadic, but nice. So we close that, and we got a door right in front of us. Where do you take us, oh magical door? Takes us onto a long corridor. Let's drop down first, see where that takes us. Where do you take us, mighty, mighty drop? Okay, so where... Oh, so we're back in the meeting room now. So we've actually gone back into the meeting room, which is really, really cool. Okay, so this is a long corridor, which I believe follows on from the long corridor that's above as well. So we'll check that out in a second. So we come down this very long corridor and we're into suiting area. Is this airlocks area? Is it airlocks area? Well, these are clearly airlocks. Ah, okay, this is his special design of engine bays and whatnot. So basically what he has here is where all the engines are and all that gubbins, he's got airlocks that separate them off just in case they get shut off, because of course if if a thruster gets blown off, then there's a lot of space that's, you know, open and it can depressurize the area. So he's got this like safety feature in, a bit like the Titanic, however I hope it doesn't sink. And you know, he's got these airlocked off areas, which is really nice. So I'll close that room for now and we'll head down a bit further. So we've actually got a nice view of the turrets here. Jesus, that's scary. And if we keep going down, we've got the thruster here, one of the industrial thrusters, and then we've got more seating areas, more thrusters. And if we keep moving our way down, we've got a suiting area here, and then we've got another airlock. Sweet Jesus. It's a maze now down here, my god. So if we go back up here just to try and get back our bearings, because this place is a maze. So if we come back up here, and then we open this door, and then we open this door. It's a bit of a big area here for an airlock, just might want to point that out to Dark Lord. But we come through here, and does this actually take us back down to where that door was down here? Does it? Because I believe there's a separation. So if we come down here, we've just got a bit of open space again where thrusters are, yada yada yada, and more control benches. I open this up, suiting areas. Open this back up, and yeah, so it does actually have connection between everything, which is nice. So we open this door, and then we come through here. And where are we going now? We're going actually down to the main, where the gravity generators are, and where a lot of the up thrust is. This is pretty cool. It's a nice sort of darkened area, but again, you can get into the thrusters and repair them if need be, which is crucial for a ship of this size. You need to make sure you can maintain what you've got rather than just rebuilding. So if we open back up these airlocks and just leave them open because we're badass, and we just go back up here. Sorry about that. Throat got a bit dry. So I come back through here and back all the way around here. My god, we literally come back out the other side now. We're lost in this ship. So these doors here, it does say high access, well, required, so I'm hoping this is the reactor room. Is it reactor room? And it is indeed. So we've got a reactor room here which is using all vanilla reactors, which is brilliant in sort of on his part, because he's got the space to put these in, because they don't output a lot in terms of, you know, how much some of the modded thrusters take, which is quite good enough, fairness, having all that power. And then we just got a grav gen at the end of this room, and then it comes to a dead end. So if we find our way back up to that top deck, we could probably make our way to some of the other areas. So let's come out this door now. Actually, let's go a different way completely. So come back up here and come back up here. And we've got a window here which is actually of that ginormous Titan engine facing the back, so we are right at the back of the ship now. We've got a door there as well, and just down here again it's the same on the other side, it's all mirrored. So what is in this door? Got an airlock, a large runway full of storage containers. Open this door, and are we back where we're back where we started? Oh my god, this place is it's huge. Jesus. So I think what is next on the list is to do some tests. Oh, no, we found another area. This is that area that we actually, I believe we skipped on for now. Did we skip on it? We skipped on it. So this is where we would have come from the other bedrooms and whatnot. So running down here is, now this is the engineering bay of air, you know, of sorts. I mentioned maybe putting tables in of some sort, just because I was thinking maybe they'd want to be working in here partly, and they've got somewhere to actually work and do drawings and things like that for any parts of the ship that may need repairing. So I mentioned that, and he's put some lockers in and some bedding, some really like quite cozy bedding in all fairness. That's quite nice. And that should literally be it now. And there is a dropway here. Does this drop directly in? Yep. So this actually, yeah. So it drops directly down where all the engineering bays are again. So that's very well placed. I'm really liking this. It's very well thought out. So I think what's next is to go and look at the weapons. Okay, so just before I get onto this weapon sort of look through, basically I found some controls for hangar doors, and I didn't realise where they were. I spent about 5 minutes toggling them, going, where the hell are you? And I found them. So where those hangars were, where they were sort of, you know, vertical, if you press some buttons for the two rotors to reverse, these are actually doorways. They're not like a central partition for anything. They're actually doorways to protect the ships, which again is just brilliant. It's a really, really nice way of protecting the ships, because I was thinking what you know, what happens with the ships when, you know, we just get shot at. But this whole underbelly is so special in the terms of that, and he's actually got some really nice protection under here as well. So I'd just like to have pointed that out. Now, this ship doesn't feature anything that special. It only really features rocket launchers on the front end, which are, you know, fireable by you. And then there are a bunch of turrets that you can go around and fire as well that are attached to the ship in certain areas. So if I just put one of these on, and I've actually got access denied. So, but I mean, in terms of the where they're located and all that gubbins, I'd actually probably say they're very well located, because you've got a lot of firepower on the sides here, and sort of at critical points where you've got the large engines, and then down this section you've got the more heavier weaponry, just to keep off any fighters from getting underneath that ship and getting into the hangars and blowing them up, or getting into them and causing havoc. You've then also got some really nice protective guns on the top face as well, and there are some things, I believe, yep, we got these black ones that really do blend in nicely to the sort of the back end of the ship, and these are just for protecting the back thrusters. And he's also got some rocket launchers there as well, just to make sure people don't mess with it. And then again, you've got these like small personnel turrets, which he's used for anti-missile protection. So those things are designed just to shoot at missiles and floating objects, which is nice. He's also scattered around because they do class as weapons for the drones. He's got these actually scattered around, these laser antennas. Again, I showed you the two at the front, which are here, and I believe he's got them full 360, so he's got one on every face just to pick up on everything. This one would pick up most of it, and then you've got the two front ones, and then you've got another one on this side. Is there any on the underside? Yep, there's plenty of them on the underside, so he could pick up a few ships with those and fly them around, which is really nice. Again, I'm unsure whether it's per ship you need one of those laser antennas, or is it per, you know, or is it one for everything? I don't know, because the way I see it is they both need to be, you know, in line with each other, a bit like infrared or something. But, you know, I'm unsure of that myself, so let's not answer that. So again, most of the weapons is just, you know, missiles, rockets and machine guns, all vanilla stuff, which is nice to see. Again, he's not using too complicated of weapons. So what I'll do now is I'll get the rig set up for the artillery cannons, and we'll put some holes in this bad boy. Okay, so this is the artillery test. So what I've got here is I've got 7 artillery cannons, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire 2 volleys of 7 at it, so that's 14 shots, and basically see what happens to the ship. So if I get into F8 view, we can see that I am lined up nicely, and I should hit it pretty bang on the middle, and we will have to see what the hell damage this does. So this will fire one sort of round, one volley, and then after about 10-11 seconds it'll fire the second volley after it's reloaded, of course. So if we go F9, and then if we want to hit 1, it'll fire the first volley. Oh wow. and then the second volley will come shortly after it. Oh, look at that. So we've actually ripped something off instantly. So just do a quick damage report on this and see how that fared. So we have got a breach, and this is what Dark Lord was on about. When you get a breach in the side of the ship in like bits that aren't as protected, what you have is these here to protect against that. So they're a failsafe, so anyone in that area could potentially die, yes, but you've still got most of the crew alive in the rest of the ship, which is awesome. Now I have ripped something off here, which is an antenna, and I'm unsure whether that is crucial to the ship's workings. However, though, it has fared pretty well against that, and having that arm on there has done a nice job at keeping it all protected. And we haven't actually broke through there. I went through the block then, but we haven't actually gone through there. The armors took it on, took it on the nose and protected the ship. So very well done against that. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we are sitting in the missile tester. Now this is it. It's just simply a just a few rocket launchers attached to the front. Now what this is going to do is this is going to fire a volley of 5 seconds of basically constant missile spray at the ship, and we'll see what this does to it. So let's hope for the best. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that was the volley. Now that seemed to do a lot, but on the outface of it, has it done a lot? It's still breached this section here, but again, we've got that failsafe. And this piece of armor here just seems to take it all the time. I mean, there's bits floating off, but this thing has just took a pounding for a few seconds of missile fire, and it's still going. Just Jesus, this thing is strong. So I think what we'll do now is we'll just move on to the sniper test, where I'll just fire a few rounds into the sniper area and see if that breaches anything, because those are higher penetrating, and we'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so we actually have the sniper turret set up now after a few annoyances. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fire off 2 volleys into this and see what actually happens in terms of damage. So here comes the first one. Wow. These do penetrate a lot. Sweet niblets. And the second. Okay, so in terms of damage, those don't deal a lot to this, which is good, because that kind of replicates. I mean, these things are like heavy damage, and fast fire rate and whatnot, but this thing does sponged it all, which is awesome. And again, it hasn't actually breached the engine, the engineering quarters at all. So I know I probably wasn't aiming for that section, but it hasn't breached, there's corridors running all the way down this section. So it's pretty good that it hasn't, it's managed to withstand it. Let's fire a few more and see what happens. So it just keeps deforming. And I believe that's the heavy armor taking. Yeah, the heavy armor takes a massive force before it begins to breach, which is really good. And again, it's only going to breach into this section here, which is of course the hangar bay. So it's not going to cause massive amounts of disruption. So that is pretty damn good. In terms of things, this ship is an absolute monster. So I think what I'll do is I'll end this on a crash, but I would say well done, Dark Lord. It's really awesome to see this thing up to date, and it's 10 times better than the original. The original was really cool, and I did have a look around it, and this just is so much better. And with the incorporation of nicer looking scenery and things like that, and making it more comfortable for the people who are going to be flying and living in the ship, it's really nice to see. So I would probably give this out of 10 a 10. A straightforward solid 10, just because it does exactly what it says on the tin, it overexerts itself in that manner, in all fairness, and it seems to just be laid out really well and really thought out. So thank you for this build, Dark Lord. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ship and I'm going to smash it and destroy it and make it cry. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, favorite, and of course subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next spotlight. Peace!